Good morning, afternoon, evening, folks, and welcome to the premiere episode of Until Stars Collapse. First of all, I'd like to thank Briar Sovereign for letting us take a look at his pre-release copy of the system we're using, Case and Soul. It's a Forged in the Dark mecha rule set, and so if you like what you're hearing, if you enjoy what we're doing today, or if you're just plain interested, please check it out when it's released. It's gonna come out on March 1st, which is Friday. So, go check it out. Go check it out. But more importantly than that, we have a wonderful cast of players today. So, in the order that I call you out, please tell us who you are, who you're playing today, your playbook, and answer me this one question. If you had a bucket list, what would be at the top? Starting off with Foxy.
And there we go. Sorry, I had to fix the mute thing. Hi, good morning, and afternoon, and evening, friends. I'm Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Philly's finest. And today, I am pleased to introduce you all to Lance Admiral Alatheia System, commander of the Task Force RCN 215, Heaven After Hell. And I think if there's anything close to a bucket list for someone like Alleluia, it simply contains having at least one person tell them they did a good job. I think that's what I want, or what they want at the end of it. Just having at least one person say, "Not bad, kid." That's it.
Damn. Next up, Tensei, please.
Hi, I'm Tensei, and what's up, Nova Explorers? It's Shinya Nova here. I got drafted. That's fucking cool, right? Anyway, there was some questions in chat. My bucket list is, I've never actually left this system, and this might be a good chance to do that. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. I don't know. It's certainly going to be interesting. But speaking of interesting, up next, John.
That was such tonal whiplash between these two. I don't even know where to position myself for this.
In the middle, exactly in the middle.
Right. Yeah. I'm just gonna be very boring. Yeah. My name is John. I am playing Archeron Rose today, who is tallest in stature among the new recruits, smallest in personality. At least, or so we think. We'll see. There's layers to this. And I think Archeron's bucket list. First of all, I don't think they've had any chance to actually think about a bucket list because there's other more important stuff to think about. But if there was such a list, I think it would include just kind of like chilling out for a day. I think it's like just having being at a do a beach episode. I'd be on like a nice tropical planet, and not worry about all the other shit that's going to happen. So I think that's the bucket list.
You know what? That's totally fair. Just have a chill day. And last but certainly not least, Legendary Vermin.
Hey everybody. Tonight I am Legendary Vermin as I am at all times throughout time and space. And I am going to be playing wait. Did I do it? I'm going to be playing Tenebra Shroud today. A no-nonsense mercenary. What does she want more than anything else in the world? She wants to see the star-spanning empire that staked a claim on her home system devour itself and crumble. That's her bucket list. Simple. It's the simple things, really.
Just the littlest things. And I guess that leaves me. Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm your game maestro for today, and I'll be playing everyone, everything, everybody that's not these wonderful folks. But as a, maybe not a reminder, but as a initial thought here, while our wonderful players have taken steps to ensure comfort, please be aware that we will be inching into territory exploring things like, cult culture, imminent death, war media, general violence. So if at any point you feel that makes you, as an audience member, uncomfortable, including right now, please feel free to zip away from the show until you are comfortable or until next time. Either way, thanks so much for coming out to spend some time with us.
But also, we need to hear the bucket list item of everyone else who isn't us.
You know,
Every single individual, everybody, every NPC, go on
All
the
of us.
list right now.
Bucket list for the rest of the universe, yeah.
the list
What?
of the entire universe.
What is the sun's bucket list?
You know what? Sounds like a decent segue.
I was gonna say there's probably one thing the sun has going for it, and I think it might rhyme with supernova.
You know what? Fair. Greedy is for life's only promise. Ravenous for the ashes left. Through vast expanse and starry sea, we find ourselves at the Alatheia System. Solar system that has reached its twilight, its ever-expanding red star hovering on the brink of core collapse. But that day is not yet tomorrow. The camera flies past the expanding sun, stationed nearby, the volcanic obsidian violet of Vacaris, through the asteroid belt, over the verdant hues of Arbor Hearth and its icy moon. It centers on a massive megastructure. Its rings closed and spires silent. It is Warp Gate Zeta, one of the 2 warp gates in the Alatheia system facilitating passage between systems. And it is packed. Rows upon rows of evacuation ships waiting for their scheduled time to leave, some taking their chances when the gate opens to try and slip past the rim-ward Colonial Navy crew protecting the gate. And just to the side of this gate is a space station. Technically a military station, its docks are nearly overrun with all sorts of mixed civilian and military craft, and it is here we find ourselves looking at 3 vessels docked in a designated military priority lane. 2 escort ships, the Cherubim Serenade and the Funeral Bell, flank the flagship Heaven After Hell. Despite the number of ships in the docks, there aren't many people around. Military personnel, technicians, dock workers, a couple of civilians, and above each berth the screen displaying as it has for the last 3 years. Estimated 1 year remaining until core collapse. Friends, players, this is the part where we do the fun thing. And that is, tell us what you look like, where you are, and what you're doing right now.
Do we want to do the same order we did last time?
Yep. Well, I was
We
gonna say,
can't.
I
I'm
think
doing the
it's fine
finger,
to
so I
go
can't
through.
go first.
Oh, I see.
I'm
That's
doing the
fine.
finger,
I
so I
forgot
can't
about
go
that.
first. That's the rule, guys. I can't go first. It's the rule. I'm doing the thing. So sorry.
I can start. I think it's pretty straightforward for Archeron. Assuming we're on our ship right now, right? Like we're all on the Heaven After Hell. Is that the situation? Yeah, cool. For Archeron, who currently is in the like crew cantina or cafeteria or whatever we want to call it, the food deck of the ship, and pretty easy to spot because they tend to stick out a little bit, though not that they're trying to. But mainly because of two factors. One is that they are quite tall and lanky, which they're somewhat trying to hide by the fact that they are usually a little hunched over, not to like an unhealthy degree, just to imagine a teenager without confidence. That's the kind of body posture that we're looking at here. But secondly, because they're also probably unlike most folks here, who I assume just are wearing their uniform. Archeron is essentially wrapped in a. They say it's for religious purposes, but it is some kind of weird costume of sorts, some kind of mummification, where their entire head and face is essentially obscured by cloth, scarves, whatever it is, and slightly like jingling with charms and chimes and other things that are hanging from those scarves. And they're currently just kind of sitting there, probably having their tray of food and doing something that they've been doing for the last couple days now, which is to essentially try to casually befriend other people on the ship, but probably not doing a super great job of it because they're a little weird and maybe a little bumbling. So yeah, I think at the moment they would probably be with like a group of other, let's say engineers, who are chatting amongst themselves, and every so often Archeron would do that, like, oh yeah, yeah, and like try to add something to the conversation, but clearly being ignored by everyone.
Passing along to the camera, who would like it next?
I think. Can I ask Tensei that you go next? I have a thing.
You have a thing? Okay.
I have a thing.
What's your thing so that I can build up to it?
Check chat.
Okay. Shinya is in their quarters in a very nice chair, like a Razer gamer's chair, leaned all the way back. How did they get that on here? Who cares? Doesn't matter. Looking a little bit dejected. On their screen is footage from a previous fight here on this ship. All you can hear is them muttering just a little bit. I don't know what they're upset about. I wasn't streaming this. I'm not gonna put it out there. I know it's secret. And then they sigh and shut it off, have no particular desire to work on this project anymore, and just sort of stare at a blank screen for a little bit. Before cutting over to the other end of that.
Yeah, we can cut over to so when we see Tenebra Shroud, she is short. She has kind of chin length military cut. Not military cut, but like, tight bob, black hair. And I think the thing that most people would notice first is that she has a mask that covers everything from her nose to her chin. And if you looked up reports on this, you might see something along the lines of requires voice assistance and respiration assistance based on home planet. Other than that, she is wearing a set of military fatigues that do not match any of the commanding officers on the vessel. She has a commander's sword that, or like a captain's sword that does. Something that's given to any of the pilots who have retained or done like a notable service to the RCN. And her official jacket that she is meant to wear as the leader of one of the mech squadrons is tied around her waist. And right now, she is heading directly for the personal quarters of Admiral Alatheia.
That's me, by the way. I imagine the look in, like, Alatheia's personal quarters are Spartan to the point that they almost look like someone just moved in or out of them. There is very little in the way of decoration, not much in the way of like poster, maybe a few books on a shelf or a model here or there, but overall it's a very organized, well-made bed, a vanity of some kind, a private bathroom. The commander themselves have actually just finished dressing themselves for the day. Alatheia is, again, not the tallest, lanky, however, not very statuesque. Darker umber tan skin, and their dress is always regimented. They keep their black officer's admiral's jacket on at all times, make sure that all their pins are checked and things like that. Their hair is a sort of dark green with streaks of a lighter green going through it in places, which they mostly keep at a pretty high bun ponytail kind of thing at the back of their head. They wear glasses, which kind of obscure a pretty solemn look of like behind yellow eyes, and under their left eye are 3 tattooed lines of different lengths that mirror the circular 3-line symbol of the RCN. And they are just staring at like a mirror, having just finished addressing their jacket, and just are staring at that, I imagine, when the door opens. Without a knock, I have to imagine. I think you're muted, friend.
I think that I would knock.
Okay, fair enough.
Or at least like hit the comms button. Requesting a moment of your time, Admiral.
Commandant Shroud, of course. You may enter.
Shroud enters and kind of stands at like a parade rest in silence for a moment before saying, I'm requesting a transfer out of Catafalque Squadron.
To which posting?
Any other squadron.
And your reasoning?
Being under fire is a position where I have to trust everybody who is supposed to have my back. I do not think that these recruits meet that standard. On the one hand, you have a let's not raise their status and call them a battle reporter. They are a war streamer. And on the other hand, well, I didn't know that the RCN was experimenting with child soldiers.
Alatheia rankles their brow a little and just, your concerns are reasonable, understandable even. Ensign Nova is a unique case. Ensign Rose is a hair trigger. They are also, however, both all that I have right now. I am lacking for pilots currently, Commandant. I would wish to accommodate you however I could. However, I need those 2 alive. My best chance of keeping them alive is keeping them under your wing for now.
I am worried that either of them could pose a threat to the security on this ship. I have reason to believe that they are both potentially recording and sending information off ship.
Yes, recent reports have indicated certain things regarding Ensign Nova's personal activities. Rose is more complicated. I do sense there is more there, however. This is concerning news, but not surprising. And while they don't turn to look at you, they kind of narrow their eyes a bit, which is, again, even more reason why someone has to keep an eye on them.
Why not put somebody already on your roster in charge of them and reassign me to that other squadron? You have plenty of people who have turned out trained, excellent soldiers. These two need a firm hand, and I'm not here to babysit.
They still have not turned to look at you. Do you want the acceptable answer or the honest one?
I want the answer that you can give me.
They finally turned to face you. I don't trust you. There is a...
Have I... And there's like an adjustment. There's an adjustment in posture. What have I done to earn your enmity?
Enmity is a complicated term. I do not dislike you, Commandant. But I am not foolish. I am aware that our personal predilections towards the RCN are not evenly aligned, shall we speak. I am not here to tell you how to believe or what to believe. I'm here to ask you to get a job done. If you can do that, we'll be fine. However, could you forgive me if I wish to make sure that you are somewhere I can keep my eyes on?
I would have thought my record of service, and a hand moves to like touch. A hand moves to touch the sword that she has with her, which is an indication of like excellent service. I would have thought that my record under the RCN would have more than compensated for any concerns from pre-war times.
I think there is a brief flash of before the war broke out, the two of them, Tenebrae and Alleluia, sitting at a small cafe somewhere on a station, sharing a small meal and a board game of some kind. The two of them look seriously at each other, and there's clearly a lot of tension and like discussion in the air, though there aren't any words being said in the immediate. We flash out of that, and Alleluia just says, "Old habits die hard, I believe."
I didn't think somebody could be sore about losing a game for so long. Very well.
Sore or careful, Commandant. Your choice. Is that all?
It doesn't seem that I'm going to be able to shift your mind on this. I'll keep an eye on them. But if they get out of line, I will take it under my own direction to see that they are adequately reformed.
Well, let's hope it comes not to that. Thank you, Commandant.
And I think it's on this scene that we sort of zoom out. You see the form of Bast. What does Bast look like, by the way, Alleluia? As they had their way around behind your door, your closed door, just outside.
Alleluia looks like, sorry, Alleluia. I don't like Bast, our ship's AI and their holocom manifestation, looks kind of like a slightly more exaggerated Abyssinian cat, very lanky with very pointed long ears and a swishing tail. And they appear mostly in full hard light as like a large, almost like slate gray construct with bits of gold gleaming here or there.
You watch as, or the camera follows as Bast sort of like pads their way, pushes away a few alarms, wipes through a couple of ship's diagnostics as they make their way over towards you, John, in the cafeteria.
are you just gonna sit there?
Beth sits back on their haunches. Were you looking for some conversation?
Oh, I mean, I think I have plenty of and they're like about to say probably the word like be friends or plenty of company here, but like all the people that they were like, you know, sitting with at the table just all get up and leave. And they're like, well, it, I, correct me if I'm wrong. And the Archeron kind of looks around in that sense of like, am I the only one who feels weird talking to a cat? Is this just like, is this just daily life on this ship? Looks around and is like, I might be wrong, but I get the feeling that I wouldn't be talking to you if there wasn't something important.
It appears there is a new recruit arriving soon. I would like it if you could show them the procedures.
Oh,
They will not be on the ship.
Sure. Of course. And Archeron immediately kind of clumsily gets up, like it kind of shoots up, but you know their knees kind of hit the table, and like some of the tray kind of clatters around, and is kind of just like goes for like kind of like a half salute, but then isn't quite sure if they're supposed to salute to the cat or not. So they're like, they just kind of they imply the salute, and then yeah, of course, I'm happy to be of assistance, especially to the new folks.
We will also be collecting Shinya, and Bast will just at ease, soldier, and will head off towards Shinya. You see an alarm show up like on the hollow screen in your room, going, "Meet at the front of the ship."
Okay. Better than sitting here. Let's go. And they pick themselves up, kind of shuffle off. Any I don't know, anything. Maybe nothing, just habit. Before doing exactly that, heading to the front.
I think as the three of you meet there, you watch as the door opens to this dock. It's not, as previously mentioned, it's not particularly busy. You see a couple of civilians sitting down. There's like an old man sitting on a bench. But right in front of you is your age, John. She's pretty tall, a little still shorter than you, but pretty tall. Bright pink, like hot pink hair, is bouncing on her feet and just going, hello? Hi. Kim Rosethorn. Nice to meet ya?
And this is to me directly, or to
Just like to the two of you, but
yeah,
also to you, specifically, Archeron.
yeah, yeah. I'll after like a quick look sideways to Shinya, I will like kind of shake her hand somewhat awkwardly. Pleasure's all mine.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure. It's actually really cool that I can do this. My folks are heading off on the next evacuation ship heading out, and it's really cool. I mean, like, look, man, it's cool. It's great. It's awesome. I don't know. I'm here. I'm living it.
Must have some influence then, your parents. You don't want to go with them?
No. I signed up. I got drafted. you know how it is, right? You know you haven't heard?
I mean, I've, I'm also because I've got drafted, of course.
See, they're getting your family out then too.
Oh yeah. uh, anyways, this is Shinya. Um, and like Archeron just kind of takes a step back as if to physically exit the conversation.
Yeah, hi. Was everybody on this ship just drafted?
I mean, I don't know about this ship. I'm not gonna be on this ship. I'm actually on the SSH over there, and she points over to like it's a one of those like small carriers. It looks like a cargo ship. It's definitely like vaguely military. Um, the RCN does not have a huge presence in this area, so they've got like a couple of escort ships that they're basically using to guard the gate. She's like, yeah, I got drafted for guard duty.
Cool. Cool. What's up?
Well, today is the day that all the fire flowers have gone off and they look amazing. So, I thought I'd come by and show you all the rituals because we're here on the station and not there.
Oh my god. I've always wanted to see this, actually.
Right?
No,
And like she's gonna shove a screen in your face. There is a ritual circle going around on the ground is covered in flowers. There are all sorts of colors, not red, but like blues, violets, and they're all just spontaneously bursting into flames, like just ashes in various different colors drifting into the air.
oh my god. That is. And their face is like genuinely lit up. That's beautiful. Oh, I wish I could actually like be there. I wish I could. I want to see it. I want to share it.
Well, recording's just as good, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, well, as they say, it's probably not gonna stick around for too long, but that's what makes it so cool, isn't it?
Once in a lifetime. I mean, maybe not, but it feels like it.
It comes around every year, and she turns to look at the quantum clock. Someday it'll be the last year. You never know, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, hey, what station have you been assigned to? Shinya and I we're both case pilots here. Not a big deal, of course, but
Oh, well, I'm here to guard the belated hope. You guys, I don't know what you guys are doing. Like, you look, and she's like looking at, like, you've got a fancy ships here. I think you guys look like you have much higher clearance than I do.
confused. I mean, if a completely mummified face could look confused, then that is what happens with Archeron right now.
She's like,
let jingle.
she's like, just looking at you and going, Warp Station Zeta 2, Belated Hope. You never.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, for sure.
Well, look, man, I am just super glad that we are assigned here, that I got drafted here instead of going to, and she's like, the Gilded Hope.
Yeah. Akron clearly has no idea what that means.
She is just like oh you guys haven't been in the system before. Okay, well, long story short, Orumgate decided that if they wanted anyone, so anyone's who's who, or has the money, or doesn't have the money but wants a contract, right? They can pay the money so they can get through their Warp Gate Alpha, down south. But that's why they call it the Gilded Hope, because you better hope you got the cash. Over here, if you get lucky, you'll be put on a list and wait a bit, and you'll just go through. Or you could expedite it, like me.
I feel like I, as a player, feel like she's kind of like admitting to crimes right now, but I don't think my character would actually point this out. Well, I mean, how long do you think you're gonna stick around? It's I'm happy to show you around if you want, but
Oh, I'm not sticking around too long here. I'm going places. And but it was nice meeting you. I'm gonna here. I'll show you around the station. I think at this point is where we sort of pan away from the two of you and head back in towards the towards the commandant, to the captain's quarters, where
Can y'all get the
Tenebra
fuck out of my room, please? Like, hello? Why are
I left.
Fine. No,
It
you're
would be very
great.
funny
You're
if
wonderful.
if you're still just standing there.
Just like
No, I think in not getting what she wanted, Tenebra has like pulled up on some sort of virtual assistant, and is like jotting down notes for anything that she thinks could get her assigned to a more conventional unit. And I think immediately after that, she's going to go and assess the state of her personal mech down in the hangar bay.
As you pass by, you see on a couple of screens just they're playing, like, now that you're no longer in wake travel, you're actually getting broadcasts now, so you're seeing various advertisements, just displays of the local news. You see a quick covering of the let me see if I got the name right. You've got a quick covering of the Chan Grace campaign. Just a quick little summary of it as it flies right past and immediately heads over towards another display of just. So, friends, it looks like we've got another year left from the Fireflower Festival, and it's looking great. And immediately flips through a couple of more just news segments as you make your way towards the hangar.
Yeah, I think Tenebra is not generally somebody who stops to pay attention to the news or the ads, but I imagine the volume is near constant on these as she's walking by. It's like, what if CNN was on every billboard?
Yeah, and there's like a couple of things like, oh hey, here's another meeting for the Singers of the Last Sunrise. Oh, we've got another meeting over here for our Craven emissaries. It's just bombarding all over the place, just advertisements, commercials, pamphlets. Some of them are literally just pamphlets.
Yeah, and with admirable focus, Tenebra shuts all of that out, just making her way directly to the hangar bay.
Right. you make your way to the hangar bay, you see it's particularly busy. You've gotten most of the technicians have gone over your cases. They've basically fixed up the ship. It's chill.
Sorry, say that last bit again.
I said it's chill. It's pretty like this ship has been fixed up. You're fully fully filled up. There's you've just got a couple of technicians maybe puttering about to normal normal maintenance.
It's the kind of thing where she heads over to check the maintenance logs, and then sees somebody touching her mech in a way that she doesn't like, and is like, "Hey!" or just like barking at somebody that they aren't treating this machine with the respect that it deserves. If there were other mechs in the hangar, this one looks substantively different. It's built by a totally different manufacturer. It's not in the standard like color schemes of like green and orange. It is a bright red mech with plumage and a very like narrow profile that doesn't match a lot of the standard issue mechs used by the RCN.
And as you like yell a quick "hey," that technician just like jumps for a little bit. And it's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," but like you've got like a really cool map. You haven't worked on one of these before, and I'm sorry. And they're just gonna.
If you're not careful, you're going to break something.
Right. Here's my toolbox. I'm going. I'm going. Sir, ma'am. I'm going. I'm going. And they just back away very slowly with their toolbox and leave.
I think that at this point, like, we see her run through a routine of like checking her own maintenance logs, checking the maintenance logs of her crew, seeing if there was any damage sustained during the last fight in sortie, and then moving on to looking for any like upcoming briefings that she has to attend, doing the admin side of her job as commandant to these two other mercenary pilots.
You see on your log there isn't anything pressing right now, and just about as you're about to like close out, you see like a blink, sort of like an alert. Beep beep beep.
I touched the button.
You see as Bast comes out, pops out in front of you, displays out a display screen, and in front of each and every one of you, you see like another small copy of Bast. Whether you're in or out of the ship, just it appears that we have a new mission for you.
Under whose orders?
The RCN. It appears that 2 of our evacuation ships that were meant for launch today have been stolen.
And the aggressor?
It appears to be a crew possibly flying Pavanas colors. They stole the Rose Compass and the Sunrise sails. No refugees on board, but it is carrying a lot of valuable supplies and materials.
And our orders?
Retrieve the ships. If not, try to grab the supplies and materials. Those are more important. Trackers on board show its flight path headed towards Ingress.
Alleluia kind of tilts their head a bit. Ingress. Then we should be able to intercept, and he kind of like looks at a star map. We should be able to intercept them there. All right. And I'll kind of press, Bass, give me ship comms.
Comms.
All hands, grade A battle stations. Crew, to your hangars and to your stations. All catapult wings prepare for launch in the next 10 minutes. We're moving into battle zone.
Did you two get that message? Are you on ship?
Oh, just making our way there. Bye. Waving to the girl that we just talked to. Well, yeah, we'll be right there.
Bye-bye! Good luck! I don't know what you're doing, but good luck!
Tensei,
You're muted.
Tensei,
I am muted. I didn't want everybody to hear me coughing all the time. Yep, of course. Always busy. We're right there.
And I think it's as we settle on the scene, as the four of you make your way back into Heaven After Hell, and the wake drive starts up. It's engaged. The quantum clock broadcasting to the station cuts out. And the last thing you see as your wake drive engages and you're setting off towards Ingress Station is the site of Hysteria. Folks, I think now is a good time for us to take a bit of a break.
Yeah, Hysteria is a great place to stop at. Absolutely, not a problem. Sure, let's go for it.
Yeah, of course.
Welcome back to our game of Until Stars Collapse. Now, the ship has just engaged and has made its way over to the Ingress Solar Research Station. Also, if I could just move my players over, that would be great. And while I'm attempting to do that, oh, there we go, thank you. Don't mind me as I try to figure out internet things. The five of you find yourselves coming out of the wake dive. You know what? I'll figure out some verbiage for that later. But to the scene of a large solar sail. It's got solar panels all across its station. It's large. It's mostly glass, actually. Bright, gleaming, and it's on fire.
Sorry, what's on fire?
The large solar research station.
Oh dear.
That's not the right way to research solar.
No, it is not.
Very hands-on.
The next thing that you might notice if you're on the bridge or if you're just looking out a viewport window are 3 ships. 2 of them are large, probably the refugee ships. They're big, bulky. They don't have any overt weaponry on them. And then the last one is, well, it's not a ship that any of the 5 of you would recognize. It's definitely has the bright blue colors of that you might recognize from Penance, but it's got an undercut of a brilliant shade of orange, almost eye-searingly bright orange. Sir, we don't know what the we don't have anything on this one. But it is identified as the Screaming Flames.
Pretentious name. Hail them.
As you do, you actually see in the corner a blinking light of someone is trying to hail you, but before you do that, screen pops up, and it's an adult. They're about your age, Alatheia, maybe a little bit older. They've got they're wearing bright red leather jacket, hair done in pigtails. Oh, and who's this? Who are you?
Rumored Colony Navy Officer Lance Admiral Alatheia Caden, Commander of Task Force Eulogy. And yourself?
I don't got any names, actually. You can call me Envoy, though.
Is every name you all have pretentious? It's Navy standard. Yours is also interesting. Although it shouldn't belong in front of those refugee ships.
Ah,
Caden's-
they're empty.
And yet, you appear to be either guarding them or stealing them.
I mean, does it matter if we're stealing them?
It
Star's
wouldn't if
gonna
they were
blow
empty.
anytime soon.
Nonetheless, I will make this clear. At my orders from the RCN to procure those two ships and secure their safety. You are an impediment to that. Depower your drives and stand down now, or we will open fire.
Gonna open fire? Sounds like a challenge to me, ain't that right?
Alatheia sighs really hard, and then looks up at the screen. And may the void hold your soul close in the end. Goodbye.
And may the flames turn your souls to stardust. You watch as the ship powers on its engines. It turns towards the heaven after hell, but the refugee ships? Well, they're turning towards the sun.
Damn it. They intend to just scrap them, destroy them. For what? What purpose?
Sir, you've got a incoming call?
Answer it on screen.
In front of you are two robed figures. They're wearing white and black robes with an open circle flame on their breast pocket. Just two of them. One tall, glasses, bright, verdant green eyes with brunette hair, and the other one, well, a little bit on the shorter side, stocky. Well, you guys are certainly late.
I'm assuming these are the captains of the two ships.
Oh, this is they're like, oh, sorry, we didn't introduce ourselves. Praise the star. I am Sage Schwartz, Tombkeeper. Magus Murden.
Tombkeepers.
We're in need of assistance. It appears that the vagabonds over there have knocked out our systems, or our broadcasting systems.
They're on the station. Damn it. Overly complicated. Very well. Assistance can be offered. We'll drive away your pursuers and offer whatever assistance we can. Remain on station, in communication range, and provide whatever intel you can on the current situation.
Will do, Lieutenant. Or was it Lance Admiral?
Lance Admiral, that'd be me. Thank you. Put some respect on my name, goddammit. Sorry, anyway.
Alright. With that, I believe I can pop in some tokens for y'all.
All hands to full combat readiness. All case crews and flights. Prepare for catapult launch. Quadrants 1 through 3. Your targets are the enemy vessel. 4 and 5. Converge on the station. Crew, prepare for Mark II songbirds and torpedo heads. Have the bell serenade for an escort formation around us in diamond pattern. Advance forward. Pattern 3, heading 15.
Alright.
Which part of that is that?
Yeah, and specifically, I think we see as she's like running the pre-flight checks, Tenebra patches into the command deck. Commander, what do you want Catafalque Squadron to do?
Quadrants 1 and 3 can hold the enemy in place. The heaven will place them in place while the bell and the serenade keep them focus fire. You all are our kill strike. That ship needs to be disabled regardless. Put them down.
We're going after the big purple one. Got it.
Shouldn't be too hard for a group like yours.
That remains to be seen.
Aaliyah nods once. Regardless, good luck in the black.
Well,
Let's hope you command better than you play.
I suppose we'll see.
and if that's all, nobody else has anything else they'd like to add to the scene? Then friends, to your stations. Whoever wants the camera.
Do we have to do an engagement
roll?
We do need our good engagement roll, so I will... Let's go ahead and roll that one first.
Okay. Do we have our decided on plan for mission? Like, what's our engagement plan? Are we just going straight for assault? Hit them in the goddamn teeth?
It kind of sounded like an assault.
Yeah, you just told us to destroy them, basically.
Okay, cool. Listen,
Yeah.
I just have to. I ask behind the table because y'all are my friends and I care about your opinions on things. In character, do what I say. Shut the fuck up. Cool. So we're starting off with 1 die. We get extra die because I get +1 die on plan rolls for assault engagements. Michelle, do we have any strong benefits or disbenefits to our role here?
Well, I imagine you guys are a little stretched thin here. You don't have any, but it looks, I imagine in this case, you don't have any, no social stealth, no negotiation. Yeah.
I have a question, which is, and this is more towards strategy. Are we going to have to rescue those 2 smaller ships from just like obliterating themselves in the sun?
Yep.
Cool. Okay.
So, you know, there's that. But you're currently split, so I would say that's a fairly decent plan. Go ahead and roll with 2d 2d6.
Cool. Incoming 2d6s. I got a 6 and a 1.
6 and a 1. A 6 puts you in a strong position. Congratulations.
I'm so good at things. I'm so good at planning, guys. Also, I'm gonna use my soul ability here. Press it. I get to roll 1d6 before an engagement starts, which is a 6 again, funnily enough. So between all of us, I can, at any point in time during the scene, I can just negate any harm you guys take up to 6 total. I just see it coming. I planned for it. I knew you'd do that. Push up glasses.
Alright. Then I imagine now is a good time for us to pass the camera around. Friends, who wants first popcorn?
Well, I mean, I can start if we don't have any particularly urgent items. So Archeron is in the cockpit of the Penance, their case, their mech, which I think is probably like maybe the one other like non-standard mech case in the hangar next to Tenebros. It's because it's a different make, different manufacturer. It looks like it's one of those mechs that clearly originally wasn't built for war. It was built for essentially just looking very fancy. It's one of those things that rich families have just to have it. Basically, those countries where like police cars are just like Lamborghinis. Like, I want to say Dubai, I think, does that. The Dubai police has like Lamborghinis or whatever, right? It's one of those things of like, this is clearly meant to be like a sports car, but is now repurposed as a war machine. It's it probably used to be a little bit more bulky, but seems to have been kind of stripped down, so that you mostly see the still kind of fancy looking kind of copper colored framework around the mech with black accents, and it looks like it maybe used to have like a cape but doesn't anymore, just like kind of the frayed edges of kind of like a silken black cloth at the back. And as we kind of head out, leave the hangar, I think Archeron is going to do the thing that they are at this point used to, which is to immediately split off from everyone else. And I'm going to try and if we have is the station that is on fire, is that in between us and the enemy ship, or what's kind of the layout there?
So, if you look on your left is the station. It's flying at a decent clip because you gotta go around the sun.
Sure.
Meanwhile, the ships are on the right if you're facing the sun.
Okay, understood. In that case, I'm essentially trying to think, like, Archeron is going to try and use something as a as cover to essentially get closer to the enemy without being noticed. Which might be, depending on how far away the station is from the ships, it might be a loop around the station. It might also, maybe it's just, since we're very close to the sun here, it might just be using certain like solar, flares and things like that to my advantage. So yeah, essentially my goal here is to get close to the enemy without being noticed.
All right. Go ahead and I think that sounds like a skulk to me.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're going around the station, right?
I think maybe that is the play. Maybe it is like using like essentially the shadow of the station to then, I think it's going around the station and then being essentially close enough to the sun that it maybe both visually and in terms of the signals just scrambles kind of my my position to, like, from their perspective.
Well, you did start with a strong position, so go ahead and make that skulk roll with a strong at a strong position.
Sure. So yeah, my skulk is 2. So let's see where that goes. Well, my highest is a 3. So that's nice.
Your highest is a 3. Oof. Okay. So I believe that is a failure. So it goes completely wrong.
Yep.
So you managed to make your way around the station. That's not the issue. The problem isn't that. The problem is that you weren't as soon as you fly to the the far left of the station to get some of that shadow, you immediately spot on that side another case. and they immediately they're a bit startled, so they don't quite take a swing at you. But unfortunately, they start shooting a bit wildly, and they start doing some damage to the station. So that is a tick on the clock. So this is as a Forge in the Dark, as a Forge in the Dark game. This is in fact a we do in fact end up using clocks. So I'm gonna open up a segment clock for the destruction of the station, and I hope you don't mind because this is gonna be a little, you know, maybe we don't. But yeah, that's a.
I see a clock with one segment filled in. Is that a 6-step clock for the destruction of Ingress?
Yep.
Okay. And then it
so
looks like, for the sake of the audience, we have 3 other 6-step clocks. Defend the Ingress, stop the collision, and collision course.
Yeah, so this is, I think, you know, Archeron has learned from past missions and does this time like try and communicate where they're going. So this is, I think, what probably the rest of the team hears is like, this is the Penance. I'm just gonna go, oh shit, and then probably, you know, sounds of gunfire in the background, sounds of like attacks in the background.
Well, we're in space, right? So we don't hear any gunfire.
Yeah, that is true.
Are we? Actually,
that, yeah.
Michelle, this is your anime. Do we hear gunfire in space, or not for this?
You hear the sound as it echoes through comms. You don't hear the actual gunfire. You hear the sound of arms charging and discharging, but you.
You know what it is? I think in this case it is like me being hit by shrapnel from the like by, you know, debris from the station being attacked, right? It's like because I wasn't attacked directly, but it's like I'm suddenly in like an explosion essentially, right? Yeah. Also to quickly mention this, because I don't know what the other cases or what the other cockpits are gonna look like, but the cockpit of the Penance is weirdly spacious. It's essentially like big enough for there's no seat. It is big enough for Archeron to walk around in. So it's almost like if you have like a nice office with a bunch of standing desks. That is what it looks like when Archeron is piloting this mech, is just kind of pacing around.
Man. I think that segues nicely into what Tenebra wants to do, which is basically we see the next pod launch, and the mech on board is that bright red, regal looking mech with a sword on it that matches the one on Tenebra's like actual person. And we hear her like do her launch sequence. Oh no. Did it go? Something just happened. Okay, yeah, we're good.
You're good.
GFA Brigid, Cunning Buzzard, Catafalque Squadron launching. And I think what she's going to do is pivot and basically do like a headlong charge directly at the like enemy gunship, because that's where they're like. That's where all of their cases are going to deploy from. That's probably where their weapons arrays are. So she's going to take that huge sword and basically make a as direct a charge as possible to get in close.
All right. You're making a charge attack, I believe. Sounds like a. I think that sounds like a rush.
Sounds like Rush.
Like argue something else.
Yeah, this is the funny thing because they refer to this as like scramble around on climb a moving mech. So I wasn't thinking of it as that, but it absolutely could be. Could I convince you that I'm trying to do battle in a case? In which case I can strive instead.
You are doing well. That is your strive, and you are doing battle in the case. So I will take it.
So, have we explained how strives work?
Oh, we have not explained how strives work.
Michelle, what is a strive? What are we talking about?
So, each playbook has an attribute called a strive. It's something that you are good in. It's your expertise. It's that thing that makes you that's a thing that's like your skill, right? And it's part of like one of like the three sets of there's like three sets of three, but like you've got three attributes, right? You've got skin, physical physical actions, steel, so machines, that kind of stuff, spirit, which is personality and knowledge, and then of course strive, which can be one of any of those three like overarching attributes. So if there's more detail, I'm not sure if there's anything more detail you want me to add here.
No, that's great. Strive has 3 dots in it at all times. It's unique to your playbook, and my playbook says I strive to do battle in a case. So 3 dice on this check. I got.
Very general as a strive. That's very good.
We have to set the position in effect really quick.
Well, you are. This is since we rolled strong on the engagement roll. I'm gonna count this for this first round as everybody in a strong position. So go ahead and roll that with a strong position.
That's 2 6s and a 2.
2 6s. That is a critical. So you go ahead. Wow. Okay. Damn. Believe that means that you basically get exactly what you want here. So what is it that you're...
What I'm going for here is I want to make it cleanly next to this ship so that I can start disabling their any ship-to-ship weapons basically that they might turn on the Heaven After Hell or on the Ingress research station.
Gotcha. So you make it there no problem. They like you see watches like they don't even notice as you get there. You move so fast. Anything else you'd like to do in this scene while you're still here, or?
I think the other thing that makes sense to do is she would get on comms. I need one of you to move over and work on moving those 2 ships out of a collision course with the sun.
All right.
Nova, it's you.
On it. On it. We see Nova's unit does look like all of the other mass-produced ones in the hangar, but like it was very recently in pieces. It's got like exposed wiring around the joints. It looks like the top and bottom half were from 2 different ones shoved together, and it's spray painted like hot pink and purple. The on most models that we see in the ship, there are like missile launchers on the back shoulders. Those have been completely removed, and there are instead 4 small holes on the back of each shoulder where it like used to connect to. RNC Caracal, Impulse. Preparing to engage. And the out of the back, 8 little bits, funnels, emerge and immediately shoot towards the 2 ships that are on course to the sun, and they get in front of it and immediately like attach to the fronts of the ship and begin thrusting backwards, trying to literally force them to stop.
All right. All right. You're trying to use your little bits to try and force the the two ships, the Rose and the Sunrise, to stop. Yes.
Yes.
Repeat. All right. Cool.
Can I ask, those little bits, are they like a weapon or something? Is that something you need to take load?
Yeah.
They are the fine long range weapon on
Got it,
that
okay.
just comes with the case.
Nice. All right. All right. So you're putting those weapons in front of the ships to try and stop to force them back.
Yeah, and to just like use the thrusters that they use to move around the field to just stop and then reverse course eventually.
Okay. I think that sounds a bit like maybe access.
Okay, I'm good at that.
All right, go ahead and roll me that. This doesn't feel like I know we started at a strong position, but these guys are driving the ships in the sun. You get the feeling that they don't really care much about consequences. So go ahead and roll that at a standard instead.
It's a 5.
5. Okay, 5 is a mixed success. So you get what you want. All right. So the first ship, the Rose Compass, the one that's closer to you, is it pauses in front. It's not moving forward. It's not moving backwards. But it's not trying to leave. It's just sort of stalled in front of it. The Sunrise is still moving though, and I think as you do so, are you firing with this or?
I mean, no. It's just like no. They're the actual like weapon itself is not going off. They're like little bits, and they can fly around the battlefield, and they just use like a thruster that's on them, so it's just force. It's just like an opposite accelerating force.
Gotcha. As you do so, you watch as the ship sort of lists to the side, and they end up colliding instead.
Cool. Okay.
So
Good.
they're not really like, you've got like one that's sort of ticking over to get to like you're ticking one to like, you know, like one's spiraling off a little bit to the side, but the one's got pushed a little bit closer to the sun.
Net neutral?
Yeah, not like, you don't just, that's how. So we're gonna go ahead and pass it over to, I believe, Alatheia. You're the only person who hasn't gone yet.
It's me. I think Alatheia is watching the scene play out in front of him. I think what we see is like as Catapult Squadron launches to engage the larger ship, we see lots of other case squadrons from the Heaven After Hell deploy after the station and begin trying to like defend and work on repairing, and not even repairing, but just defending and keeping that safe. Alatheia is going to look at Shinya's antics with the two ships and see one of them begin to nudge closer to the station, and is going to start doing math in their head, like really, really fast, and just, this is either going to work and get them all killed, but let's try. Weapons officer, fire control solution. We're targeting that position on my signal and firing on my mark. Ready on this target, and he's gonna like bring up a small display, and it'll target directly on like the central engine area of the ship that's still being nudged towards the sun.
Alright.
My intent is to order my crew to shoot so precisely that they shear just the engine block and disable its drives without actually blowing the ship up.
Oh damn, that's really cool, actually. But yeah, so you watch as targeting computers like scroll across. You see data going. You watch as the guns like slowly pivot their way towards that section. There's even like schematics that Bast brings up that locates exactly where the engine's supposed to be. Go ahead and yeah, this is still in a strong position, so go ahead and make me that roll with I think this one is you're using your strive here, I believe. Yes.
I'd say yeah. I'd say either my strive or sync, either one.
Or sync. Yeah.
My strive is better. That's, obviously I'll take that.
I mean, you're making orders to your crew, so I'm just.
Yeah. So as my playbook, the captain, my strive is that I strive to command and order my ships and all people under my command, which pretty generic, but it's what I'm doing. So here we go. I've got a 6, a 4, and a 1.
All right. With a 6, you're getting exactly you. If you would you like to describe this for me, or?
I mean, I think it's a matter of like, hallelujah, like the British officer looks at them like, are you certain? But they don't question it, and like it's a long pause of like, on my signal, hold, and I think it's like just as it begins to crest the outer edges of like the gravity well of the sun, that Ali gives the order to fire, and a blaring lance of bright pink energy flares out from the upper and lower cannons on the Heaven After Hell, and combined with a missile barrage from the Cherubim Serenade and from the Funeral Bell, they just smash into the rear end of the ship, and while it definitely sends off a huge explosion, the ship just starts to list to one side.
And with that, you see as like the forward momentum that it was going on sort of turns to a sort of like a sideways vector, so it's no longer heading towards the sun, it's heading on a sideways bent, and it's also dead in the water now. So gonna go ahead and tick that up to Grats.
Nice.
And now we are top of the round. Who wants it?
Yeah, I can go. Being now confronted with that enemy case in front of me.
Sorry, did we tick the clock? We didn't tick anything when Vermin or Tensei acted. Vermin succeeded, right? And so they both succeeded.
No, yeah. Well, for Vermin we ticked. For Tensei, I don't remember.
Okay,
Yeah.
You're right. No, never mind. I see Vermin's tick. I think I saw a tick for Tensei.
Let me go ahead and add a tick for I forgot to tick the defending Gris.
Cool.
Thank you for reminding me.
No problem. Just doing.
Yeah,
my
we
part.
definitely
That's
got
all I
one for Tensei. I think we missed mine, but that does.
Okay, cool. We got it. There it is. We good.
Being now confronted with that enemy case, the Penance is going to whip out the telescope staff, gonna expand in my hand, and then how do I think it's reasonable to since we are pretty close to the sun now, to make an attempt to essentially push the enemy case close enough to the sun that gravity takes that they can't escape the gravitational pull of the sun?
Do it. This you see that this solar cell's already going at a pretty fast clip just to escape the pull of gravity. In fact, it's a pretty strong pull right now, so you probably could do that.
Yeah, essentially I want to do to that case what they're trying to do with the with the 2 refugee ships, right? Like that's kind of get them across that threshold. So then I'm just gonna baseball punch these, in this case, or at least attempt to, just bat them into the sun.
All right.
Which, I mean, what would that be? I guess like it could be attack without holding back. Which would be a burst.
I can see a burst. I think you could also argue duel if you'd like that, since you're trying to carefully push them into the gravity well. So I'll take either.
Yeah, I'm also not very good at duel. Also, it's like engage a foe with care. I think this is kind of the opposite of that.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So I have 1 in burst. If it makes a difference, my weapon is also a fine melee weapon, which means it's essentially considered I want to say the effect is considered one tier higher, right? Like that's how.
One tier
that's how
higher.
that
Okay,
works.
so
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so then go ahead and make this roll with a strong position. With the effect of one tier higher.
Well, I'm keeping on the 3 train here. Not Acheron's day today.
Oof, I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Unintentional fail. All right. What are you trying to do here?
Well, bat them
you're
into the sun.
push them into the sun? Okay. So you try to push them towards the sun, but I think what you get is you cleave this. You do end up cleaving this guy in half. Or up to you actually. You don't have to cleave it in half. But I think what happens instead of getting pushed into the sun is you underestimate the speed at which the solar sail is moving, along with the speeds that the enemy case is moving at, and you end up batting this case instead of into the sun, right through the windows of the Ingress station.
Sure. You know, actually, give me so 1 second. Maybe remind me what is pushing yourself? What is the consequence of pushing yourself? That's 2 stress.
2 stress. Yep.
You may take 2 stress. If you want, we can rewind and you can go ahead and.
Well, because the one of my moves, the optimizer move, says I can push myself to do one of the following, and then among those options is resist any consequence of this action for 1 stress, which sounds to me like. So what does that mean? I would push myself that costs 2 stress, and then I would add an extra stress to.
My understanding would be that push yourself for 2, add 1 to resist. Among your other options, it doesn't list any additional stress costs.
No.
Okay, then that's how I would interpret that as well. It's 3 stress to resist the consequence of the current action.
Yeah. I think So that's what I'd like to do. Which in this case, because this I'm playing this move to be like very much focused on my weapon. I think I might try to like when I see the miscalculation happening, I might try to essentially re-engage the modularity of my staff to essentially change the to avoid that kind of that collision course, right, between the case and the station.
All right, go ahead and give me that extra die. Let's see what you got.
Oh sure. Oh, so that would also so this
Push
also
yourself
counts as
is add 1 to your your roll.
I wasn't sure if that was like in addition to or instead of with that move. If that move says like, but yeah. It's not quite clear from the wording. The wording just says push yourself to do these things. But
I would interpret push yourself as the mechanic push yourself.
Yeah. So that means automatically an additional die then.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Yep. I'm happy to roll another die. Yep. We're still rolling 3s over here.
I think Roll20 doesn't like you today.
Now you know why I don't roll 20 dice.
Fair enough. But then I suppose still like the effect of the written effect of the move, right, which is resist the consequences of the action, I suppose would still take effect, right? Like even though the additional die doesn't do anything.
So now you roll dice equal to an attribute instead. So you're rolling. So we're going to be rolling steel here, and you're going to take stress equal to 6 minus the highest result to resist the consequence.
Yeah. Let me just check. My steel is at 1. Okay. Oh, keep going, yeah. Let's see how that turns out. That's a 5 at least, so that's nice.
Right. So you're going to take 1 stress, and the consequences. Well, you resist the consequence. Good job. They go a little splat, but they're not going to.
No.
It's not gonna fly. It's not gonna fly through the station. So you're still good.
Okay, so that means I'm taking 4 stress total, 2 for pushing myself, 1 because it's part of the move, and 1 for having resisted. Is that how it works? I think so.
I think you I didn't give you any stress for failing, so I think it's 3 total, right?
Well, I mean that
Correct?
was that last one was the result of my resist roll, right?
Right. So you take 6 minus the highest result. You got a 5. So
Yeah.
you're
So
only
that's
taking 1. That's 1,
yeah.
and then you
So
spent
that's 1.
2 to.
2
And
from
then
the
you
pushing,
spent 2 to push yourself. So that's 3 total.
and but then my move also says I'm
Oh, your
taking
move
a
adds 1.
stress
Yes,
to
you're right.
yeah
You're right.
yeah. Okay, cool. All right, that's me.
All right. Pass it on.
Shall I go next, or does somebody else want to take the next go?
If you don't mind, I kind of want to get like a real quick, just like, okay, so the scene around us looks like, Michelle, if you don't mind, like, so what's still happening around us? Like, what still needs to be addressed and attended to immediately around us, so I can know what we're doing?
All right. So you still have while we're here, you see you've got the ship, the Scorched Flames, which is about to launch an assault on the actual station. You have one ship, which is the so the Sunrise Sails, which you've stalled out, and then the Rose Compass, which is thanks to Shinya, is a little bit off now. So it's still got active, and it looks like it's working its way towards turning to head back towards the sun. And then you've got what looks like possibly a couple of cases flying around the station. You're not entirely certain. There might be some.
In that case, I would say, yeah, Tenebra, either you or Shinya could probably go and get some stuff done. I could also, I could probably just command some guys to clear the cases away from the station. That would probably be all I do. But you know, it's.
I think I have a cinematic idea for what Tenebra's doing. So if you want to take that, or just save your turn to respond to something.
Yeah, I'll get that's totally valid. Yeah, I think I'll save my turn to respond to a thing if I need to.
Okay. Cool. So what I imagine happens next, we see the cunning buzzard not land, but like collide with the ship feet first. And its feet kind of split and grab onto the surface of the ship itself. This model is all about like attacking and tearing at large ships by getting in there with its talons, plucking at it, and attacking with that big sword. So I would like to push myself right now to even the odds. I am definitely ignoring a disadvantage in tier, and I would like to try and do direct damage to this big ship by driving my sword into one of their guns and causing it to like short circuit and overheat. Yeah.
Okay. I think that sounds like you're looks like you're. I think this might be something like duel, perhaps, since you're.
I could take a duel.
All right.
Okay. So I'm ignoring the disadvantage in tier. What does that set my like position for this roll?
Your current position is standard.
Standard. Great. Can I get a devil's bargain for an additional die?
You know what? It might not be in a mechanic here, but I will allow it. Devil's bargain is.
Not?
Devil's bargain is basically I give you a consequence, and if you want it, you'll get an extra die.
Yeah, I decide whether or not I want to accept. Does this
Okay.
game not have devil's bargains? They're on the
Yeah, I don't
It's-
think. Yeah,
It's not in the book because
Oh.
I asked Michelle the same question when we were doing session 0.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
There's no devil's bargains in the book, so I'm like, if you want it,
But they're on the character sheet. How
Oh.
curious.
I'm now
Okay.
confused, but okay. But all right. So I
In-
will offer you this.
Okay.
If you succeed, whether you succeed or fail, the ship itself is going to be firing at you. So you will be taking a lot. It's going to be concentrating most of its fire on you. So you'll be taking a lot of damage. You can reduce
How
this
much harm?
damage obviously by rolling better, but
You don't have
no?
to. You don't have to.
I'll take that devil's bargain. I like those odds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Also, how much harm are they taking, by the way?
No harm has been dealt at
Okay.
this point.
No harm has
My bad. I thought there was harm done
Okay.
already. My bad.
That's a 5.
a 5. So mixed success. So the first thing that happens, I think, is as you drive it in, you watch as the point defense turrets swivel immediately towards you, and laser fire immediately like hails down upon you as the ground that you are standing on, well, I say the ground, but the ship, they actually blow up that entire area of the ship. You were standing on unstable ground.
Okay,
It's,
cool. Are
There's
there
like
any
shrapnel flying through the.
is there any like consequence for me or my mech? Stress, harm.
So I'm gonna say you're going to you would be taking a lot of harm. I'll say probably. I'm gonna say in this case you're going to, with the Devil's Bargain, I'm gonna say you're gonna take 2 harm.
Oh, they won't.
Okay, so we're eating 2 points into that stock of 6 that Foxy had.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like?
Looks like? I imagine this looks like as the like point defense cannons turn to aim at you, they're perfectly timed with a barrage of Shatterhead missiles from the Bell and the Serenade that explode just outside of the range of the ship, and shrapnel hits those point defense turrets and explodes them, giving you time to escape and pull away before you get blasted.
Hell yeah. It's as the turret that I was focusing on explodes, we see that like space debris and smoke have like a shot come out of it, and there goes the cunning buzzard.
And I think
Oh, you will nod once.
Yeah, I think one slight probable good consequence for you. Well, maybe good, maybe bad consequence for you is that they're all focused. The entire ship is now focused on you.
Just how I like it. Okay. Was that 2 ticks to defending Ingress?
Really, actually, this really should be a 1 tick, but they're focused on you, and that's what you wanted. So I'm gonna go ahead and put 2.
Okay, cool.
Tensei, hallelujah. Shinya, hallelujah.
Go for it, Tensei.
Sure. Y'all are being way too cool. Meanwhile, Shinya over here is struggling to control these ships. We get a shot of the inside of Impulse's cockpit, which is it's way too much. Think like an airplane cockpit from like an 80s or a 90s movie. It's just all kinds of levers and buttons and dials and gauges, and they've got 2 hands going across one and like 1 foot up on the on as well, just trying to control so many things at once. God damn it, this is what why wouldn't they just let me work on these? Clearly still a little bit annoyed at Tenebra from before, but all right, realigning. and they're just like all they're doing is like the minute movement of the thrusters on the funnels to like correctly math and reposition everything. Still trying to get this one out of harm of a star.
Like to me, you're. That sounds to me like either a steady, or perhaps I'll take steady, access, or maybe even dual.
I mean, access is still what I'm best at. And steady's what I'm worst at. They are gonna push themselves. This is very strenuous.
All right. You are going to be making this. This is not something that I think you're used to.
Oh no.
But I'm gonna go ahead and say that like with the two ships effectively on a. Well, I'm assuming you're moving the one ship, so go ahead and make that at a weak roll.
5.
5. All right, you get what you want. This ship moves. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead. You push the ship. It's trying to turn. I'm assuming you're trying to move the one that's like still got like no longer dead in the water. So you push the ship away. It's going. It's trying to. Like you can't feel it, but there's definitely like a resistance there. But you managed to push this ship so that there's no way they can turn around in time, even if they fired like backwards thrusters. There's no way. They're just pointed, and as a consequence, though, you watch as a couple of your bits in the strain of basically pushing this like a whole ship towards. You actually see a couple of your bits actually sputter out and die as they run out of juice.
We're really gonna have to find a way to explain all of these replacements. Problems for later.
Nova, Archeron, report.
I think I've been successful.
Struggling.
Noted.
Camera swings over to the bridge of the Heaven After Hell.
Right. I think I'm noticing that Archeron's in trouble and just going to tap in over the comms and just fighter wings, command squadrons 2 and 3 to assist Ensign Rose immediately, and we're gonna just see like 2 squadrons of our default Caracal like RCN model cases arc around the station and kind of come in to begin offering assistance in fighting off various cases and such and things like that. I'm gonna assume this is probably like sync, maybe, because I'm telling people what to do, but like whatever, I'll take whatever.
I think sounds like it makes sense to me.
Ooh, I'm gonna push myself twice actually. Can I do that?
Good question. Can you do that?
Doesn't seem like you can't.
Cool. Then I'm doing that.
Yeah, go ahead
so
and
I got
roll it a standard.
cool.
That's
Grand total
4
of,
stress.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm well aware. Here comes 3 dice. And even with those 3 dice, I can still only make a 5.
5? Pretty good. So let's see. You said you're sending off the fighter jets to
Well,
support the station.
our cases, not fighters. But yeah, our other cases, yes.
Yeah. So those other cases, as they make their way, you watch as they actually end up engaging with 3 other cases that are flying around the Ingress station. As they start to get into a skirmish, they actually manage to move the fight away from the station. So that's good job. with a mixed success. That's still a mixed success. You're not getting everything you want.
Almost there. We're almost there.
You're almost there though. And so what I think happens is you actually see as your deployed cases, they're not this crew. They're sure they're a little bit experienced, but a couple of them actually end up losing like they're losing weapons in this duel. They're taking they're
I think
taking
you can.
some pretty heavy fire.
Yeah, but I think you can go further than that. I
but they're
think a couple of them
definitely-
die fully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Alleluia is going to flinch somewhat at watching the way the fight is going and seeing certain contacts go black on the display screen. But as he's seeing Ingress being defended and the ship being disabled and things, I think they take a solid deep breath and just Catafalque Squadron, we assemble. Let's close in for the kill.
Did we clear the case that was harassing Archeron?
I think Archeron killed it.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Hey friends, how would y'all feel about trying to get those last two ticks done simultaneously through the use of a group action?
Yeah. What's the pitch?
I think again, I mean, as stated, I think at this point, Alleluia is convincing that like we've got this basically wrapped up. We just need to give the sort of plain old lancing blow. And so I think what they're going to do is, assuming the enemy tries to like regroup and pull themselves together for another like last ditch attack, Alleluia wants to hit them with the haymaker while they're regrouping. So like while their cases are pulling back to their ship, while they're moving around to attack again, I want to send all of our firepower and specifically you three at their main ship as hard as possible. It's shock and awe purely. They will either pull away or be torn apart.
Cool.
I like cool.
Alright.
Maestro of game, does this sound like a plan?
This sounds like a plan. Group action. Okay, so you're gonna go ahead and lead it, which means it's yeah, the whole group rolls in action, takes the best result, and then you take 1 stress for each failed roll.
So don't fail, please. So yeah, I think we all take actions, and then I take 1 stress for each failed roll. Simple as that.
But we take I'm gonna take the best result out of all of it. So go ahead and just
Fair.
tell me what you guys want to do.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. I know mine, and I'd like to roll this with a skull because I think this is this Archeron like trying to essentially sneak in an attack. Specifically, what I'd like to do is I'd like to take one half of this destroyed mech that is now in front of me. Check one of my loads to plant a bomb in there. Or some kind of like explosive device, and then just hurl that. I'm just continuing with the baseball metaphors here. I'm just gonna pitch that mech torso, that explosive mech torso towards the ship.
All right, go ahead and make me that skulk roll. Tensei, Nova, Archeron, Oleia, what are you guys planning on doing while this is going on?
I think my plan is super straightforward. I think Alleluia is going to focus on like just coordination. I think at this point, like they are no longer telling bridge officers to do things. They are just directly giving orders to individual soldiers on their own. Like they are just a blur of motion, of conversation. They are just like a human calculator rattling off information and thoughts and plans to soldiers individually as they try to like coordinate this entire like orchestrated maneuver. I feel like is the idea.
All right, go ahead and make
So,
a sync or
probably
stride.
sync.
That's standard. Sync or
All
stride.
right. I'll do my stride. Yeah, I like stride. Stride's way better than my sync. It's a 6.
Okay. Archeron? Shinya?
I already went, but Tenebra.
Yep, they say you got a 5. Pretty good.
I think what we get a glance inside the cockpit where Tenebra is crouched over the control cyclist using like a series of buttons on the handle to switch between like weapon loadouts, and then foot controlled like thrusters and things as she spins her mech around. I'm also gonna mark one of my load for my case to get missile racks, but instead of being like shoulder mounted missile racks, I feel like we see missile pods pop off of the hips, and they are like drums that are integrated with the area down there. So there's like a burst of fire as she engages multiple targets at once.
All right.
At like close and long range.
That sounds like a burst to me, and at a strong position. You are close in.
I'm doing battle in my case.
Go.
Question
Okay.
mark?
You wanna argue a strive? All right. I'll take a strive.
I promise, if you try to make me do anything but fight things in this, it'll get a lot harder. That's a 5.
Okay, you've got-
And then a 3 and a 1, but I don't think that matters.
Doesn't matter.
We're taking the
Okay.
highest. All right, Shinya.
Taking a very similar tactic as Tenebra, the remaining 6 funnels just shoot off and out into six different points on other cases, and just like embed themselves in like a neck or a chest or anywhere that's just already been hit, and then destruct.
Okay, that also sounds like you're attacking without holding back multiple targets. So looks like that seems like another burst action to me. Go ahead and also make this one at a standard roll, please.
Cool, I got 0 points. So 2d6, take the lowest. That's a 1. Every single roll I've done today has contained both a 1 and a 5.
Well, the good news is for the group
That's-
action, we take the highest roll, which would probably be either the 5 or the 6.
Well,
We're
yes,
good.
yes,
The
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 6. I'm taking that 6. So
The problem would be that I gain 1 stress, and that's my 9th stress.
uh,
Well, that seems like a you problem, Foxy.
I'll accept it as a me problem. I'll gain a shift later. Don't worry about it. But yeah, we did it.
you gotta. I just double checking. Did anybody roll a 6?
Foxy did, yeah.
You rolled a 6. All right, cool. So, this all works out. You watch as I guess everything like works out as planned. The Shinya's bits lance into the sides of these cases. They all blow up one by one. And I think what Ollie, remind me what you were doing. What specifically you said you were doing?
Mostly just playing human calculator and listing off commands and orders and vectors of attack and things to every case pilot in the vicinity, and also my other ships.
Nice. Okay, so you watch as like basically each skirmish that was happening, small skirmishes with with the cases, they end with sort of like these sort of like micromanaged orders of like, hey, on your left, and as each case sort of like, as you watch as like enemy signals start to blip out one by one by one. Tenebra, you flip through. The missiles fire into the ship, and it is a glorious explosion as they're all focused, like so completely focused on you, the scorched flames, that they don't notice as a half of a case loaded up with a bomb slowly floats its way over and explodes in a conflagration, searing the ship, the scorched flames, in half. It is shrapnel, it is. slowly raining down.
Keeping up the ratio of splitting apart chips every session.
Listen, it's a 1-to-1, 100% success rate.
Yeah.
Alatheia seeing the ship take the explosion, which I think even Alatheia wasn't necessarily planning for like the bomb. Like I think Alatheia's plan included like letting Archeron get in there for a final attack, but I don't think they planned for Archeron to throw a mock bomb at the ship. And so like seeing it go critical, like I think Alatheia's plan was like see the ship disabled, and then seeing it like just get hit that hard. I think that they look at like the ship's damage and just like sigh, close their eyes. Mission target Scorched Heaven or Scorched Flames. Mission kill.
And with that, I think we can probably, if I'll go with this, end our session here.
Dramatic.
Alright. We didn't quite get to the downtime stuff, but that's alright. We'll start off our next session with either that.
Yeah, we could jump into the downtime next time. It's gonna be great.
Gonna go
Yeah.
downtime next. So I think now's a good time. No. We're ending on a bang here. All right, cool. Sorry, let me give you 1.5 seconds to recenter myself as I think about.
You got it. You
All
got
right.
it. You got it. You got it.
Folks, I'd like each of my wonderful players here today who have done a ton of description here and like bared with me as we went through these. Went through this system to tell us who they are, who they played today, where the fuck we can find you, because holy shit, we need to see more of each of you. And we're gonna go in backwards order this time. So let's actually, starting off with Vermin, please.
That's me. Hello, everybody. Tonight I played Tenebrous Shroud, the commandant and leader of Catafalque Squadron. I am Legendary Vermin. You can find me as Legendary Vermin on all the that matter, which includes itch, Twitch, YouTube, various social media sites, maybe your favorite video game. Who knows? And yeah, I am doing lots of streams in the near future. Tomorrow you can catch me over on Plus P, where we are showing off another new game. In this case, Nevin Holmes' Little Wolves, which involves us putting on and taking off cute little wolf masks. It's a good time. Come, if nothing else, to see Osera X Franco and I behave like actual wild animals, and to see Keegan.exe do literally nothing and take all the credit. Other than that, please check out my itch. Two of the fine people in this chat are in a mecha game run my systems, No Amount of Armor, which is in the process of getting beautiful, beautiful art by the Twitter artist Oryx and Croat. I'm so excited to share these character designs with people who've been playing the game. It is so fun to see them come together. And of course, if you want to see more of me generally, I'm here all the time on Neon Play. So come back for more streams. Check me out.
Next up, John.
Oh, okay. Right, I forgot. I forgot that we're going this order now. Yeah, I'm John. I played Archeron Rose, the orphan, at least technically, officially, the orphan in the group. Don't bother looking me up on social media. I'm not really on there anymore, but I guess the best way, if you do want to connect with me online, is to join the Neon Lights Roleplay Discord server, which I'm sure there's like a link somewhere that you can click for that. That's certainly where I'm active. You can also, if you are interested in checking out some of the games that I released over the last couple of years, you can go to john-east.itch.io. That's john-east at .itch.io. There's not much has happened over the last year or so, but I have taken up the designer pen again. So at some point there might be things happening there again. We'll see. Otherwise, I'll be back here next week, I suppose, for our next session here.
All right, Tensei.
Hi, I'm Tensei. I played technically the idol, but we'll see. You can find me all over the internet, and by all over the internet, I mean Blue Sky and Discord only at tenseidragon, tenseidragon, where I post a lot of cool art about Digimon and Beyblade. Or repost. I don't make it. It's not mine. I'm a bad artist.
Your curator.
Yes. I am a curator.
A taste maker,
connoisseur.
even.
A connoisseur, if you will.
Fine arts, fine wine.
Yeah. You can find me doing other things, primarily with Bard Rock Cafe, and I will be joining at some point in the future Resonant Beats to do interstitial Kingdom Hearts bullshit.
Fair enough.
But until then, I'm mostly behind the scenes. I do a lot of like tech and editing and all of that.
All right.
That's it.
last
I don't have an outro.
Fair enough. Last but not least, Foxy.
Hey everybody, and hi, Magic Academy RPG for the rages you gave us 30 minutes ago. Great to see you all, friends. I'm Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as Fair Fox Philly's finest. I'm on the internet at Young Foxy. It's YUNGFOXXI. Sometimes there's no Discord in the middle, so if you can't find one, look for the other. Speaking of looking for, you can find me on the internet, mostly right here in Neon Lights Roleplay. I am creative director here at this little lovely home of ours. I try to make sure the walls are painted, the pipes all run smoothly, and the fridge is stocked. It's difficult, but I love doing it. March is going to be massive for Neon Lights. We're going to see an entire month full of awesome mecha content, the first of which you got a taste of right here. So prepare for 4 more episodes of this campaign, as long with 4 awesome one-shots GM by Hooper, Sir Heckalot, as well as myself, with possibly another one on the way sometime soon. No spoilers. Lots of great, incredible things happening for March. So please come tune in, support Women's History Month all around Neon Lights as you can. As mentioned already, hang out with us on Neon Lights Roleplay in the Discord and on the social media. It'd be cool to have you all. Y'all have been great. I've been Foxy. This has been incredible. That's all I got.
All right. And I guess that leaves me. Hi, I'm Michelle. I played everyone else here today. And you can find me here on your English Roleplay for a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna list them out because it's late and we'd like to get our folks to have some sleep. So, thank you so much for watching today. And if once again you enjoyed the Case and Soul, which is once again Forged in the Dark mecha game, please go check it out. Go check it out. It's being released March 1st.
Friday.
Also, just shout out to Briar's games in general. We've run them before, and they're great.
This is the second time Neon Lights Roleplay has ran a Briar Sovereign game, and in fact, it was the fact that we ran that first game that made us realize how great their work is, and made us want to be like, hey, you're making another game, can we play it, please? And they were incredibly helpful, super supportive, and cheered this on. So Briar, if somehow on the internet you're watching this right now, you are incredible. We love and believe in you so much. Thank you for letting us play your game, and we hope you're doing it justice. Thank you so much for your work. Anything else, Michelle, or are we gonna get out of here for the night?
Look at that.
Cool. Well, bye.
Bye.
Good night.